everyone, and welcome to another show of Soulfully Guided. I am your host, Carmel-Anne, and so today I've decided to wing it. The day has crept up on me, and I think I need to see if there's a category in the Guinness Book of Records. I got ready, showered, makeup, and within 25 minutes. So I'm really impressed with that, and I'm a bit flustered from it. I then got ready for the show, and I had to close off the 1,500 browsers I have open. I don't know if other show hosts do that. Thursday creeps up, and I think, oh my God, I've got all these things that I want to explore open on my browser. So I did that in about 5 minutes. And I left myself no time to prepare what I was going to say. So there are some topics that I'd like to say. I am feeling a bit of pressure and tenseness and stress from life. So I'm not going to go into a caller because I'm not in that space. But, as presenters, I'd really like to give out a shout out to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV for showing up every day, even at absurd hours, to get these shows to you, and working around the clock as a network. I also want to do a shout out. I personally have listened to about 3 podcasts in my life, and I don't watch lives. I don't even watch my own. But to everyone behind the scenes and the culture and communication and support between show host and the network, and the part of us that comes on every week, and it might only be 15 minutes, but we're tackling so much more than showing our gifts to you. We're nervous, or we have to find a great topic to speak about, or we have to be our best selves for our audience. And so you get the most of your time and your experience as well. Today would have been an easy day to not show up because I wasn't in the space to reading. Not that I can't read. Time has caught up on me today, and my task list seemed to be getting longer, not shorter. And as parents and business owners, and trying to keep up with fads and, on the business sense, to keep business operating. And I'm at the stage where I'm not busy enough to hire someone, but I'm also too busy enough to do it all myself. So I'm in that energy today, and which leads me to discussing some aspects of some challenges that I'm going through 8 years past my sobriety. So first of all, with the great culture, and there's so many hosts that I don't know them all, and I don't watch shows, but a shout out to the network and all the hosts doing their best to come here every week to present their best selves for you. We are, as a host, I speak for myself, but I'm comfortable in my own skin. But it's also challenging to be comfortable presenting yourself as you in your own skin to a public audience. So, and sharing that gift. So I never imagined I would share my history of my drug addiction publicly and not be ridiculed, or not be judged harshly, and even the niceness behind it, just that sharing the darkest days of my life. So I thank you to all the audience that have listened or engaged in any way and allowed me to comfortably explore that sense. And I'm going to go on to explain a bit about that. But first, I'd like to do a shout out to some of the wonderful hosts, to all of you that are amazing, but some people I've really become, I feel like I've really connected with and keep me, motivated to keep going. And I'd like to do a shout out for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly, Mini Medium Stephanie, and also to Susanna, who is the psychic medium and healer and teacher. So really great people. And if I watched any shows, I would love to watch their shows. I won't lie, I just don't have the time to watch or listen to podcasts. And but what I wanted to talk about today is And I'm talking like I haven't prepared what I'm going to say, and it is truly from the heart. So I hope my words aren't muffled or baffled into a confusing sort of message. But as a result of this, as a result of a 17-year substance abuse, I don't know my date of sobriety. I didn't track that, but it would have to be about 8 years now, and a lot has happened, a lot of healing, and because the absence of drugs, we're not using a substance, whether it be alcohol, prescription drugs, gambling, or street drugs. Life doesn't change. Life doesn't revolve around you, and your sobriety is not a miracle cure. Like, we tend to normalize feeling stressed or challenged, and nothing can be worse than the trauma we've actually been exposed to if we're using substances for trauma, than reliving that trauma. But even I am so mentally strong and competent and capable, and I'm really happy. And even the way my body registers stress is quite surprising. I measure my stress on my watch sometimes and it shows up as 0, even though so much is going on. Now, the way my body has recently responded is that I have urges, and it doesn't sound so bad, but I have urges to have cigarette, and I've caved a few times. So it hasn't resulted to wanting to use a substance at all. But my initial go-to response that's still conditioned in my body, despite tackling cigarettes on and off for 8 years and being a non-smoker for so long, triggers don't come at a scheduled time. Things could be going great. Things could be going terrible. And sometimes these subtle little signs come up and we don't share them. We keep them in and they burden us and they drown our minds thinking we're incompetent or incapable of this sobriety we're living. And it's challenging because you think I'm having the best time of my life. And here I am wishing for a cigarette or caving in and having a cigarette. And I just want you to know that not all triggers will come at bad times, and that, whilst I don't see recovery as a lifelong, problem, the way we respond to things, it can be ingrained in our bodies to go back and sort of feel like you want a cigarette or you want to take your substance of choice. And I don't want you to give up on those moments. I will speak to it. It's only a cigarette, but even though smoking is not at all aligned with who I am and where I am in life, and I'm so fit and I want a cigarette, but yet I don't want to be a smoker. So it's a really conflicting thing. And this is what we go through. On one side, we normalize the stress and the challenges we face, and we sort of manage well because we're always in fight mode. But it comes to a point of healing where our body doesn't want to keep surviving and keep fighting. We want to start living. So when our guards become to drop a little bit and we enjoy ourselves and we're feeling at our best, we still have these things that creep up on us, and we can't give up on ourselves then when we keep trying and we keep living and keep going. So things are going to happen. And 8 years past my sobriety, I've noticed, a slight issue with my teeth. If it had not gone unnoticed, it would cause a great deal of distress on my mental health because it would take me back to, the effects of, what drugs did to me. And I tried so hard to quit. So I was able to thankfully skip a waiting list by understanding my options and I advocated for myself instead of giving up and thinking I'm just going to let my teeth fall out and I'm not going to look after myself. I was very harsh on myself because I took myself back to, well, I did this to my body. But you know what? Life is hard and we can't be our own worst enemies. People in life sometimes will judge us, sometimes intentionally, sometimes not, but we need to really be our greatest fan at some stage. And I find I'm my worst enemy, but I am also my greatest fan. I've learned to balance that out. So I'm so glad that I was able to get the help that I needed. And, it's bringing back some memories. But we have a great public health system here. And I am able to spare and salvage my natural teeth, which I have great teeth, and I was very harsh on myself. And apparently my teeth are healthier than a lot of other people in the world that haven't had a 17-year substance abuse. So whether, these little things in life will happen so much, the effects of an addiction or a trauma-based addiction, all the traumas and the challenges we've faced in our life, they're like lingering in our body even after we heal. I recommend to keep healing at deeper levels each time. And inside of me is some residual parts of addiction that I really didn't know existed until I was faced with a challenge 8 years after my substance abuse stopped. That is the result of my drug addiction. So please, if anyone is experiencing challenges like this, please ask. There's phone lines you can call, there's people you can ask for help. Do not cave into old residual conditioned responses in your body or feelings, or create change and new ones. Don't hold them in, talk about them and tackle them. Drug addiction is a huge part of this show, even if it is about tarot reading and my gifts, but I wouldn't be me without those 17 dark years, and I'm not afraid to share that if that will salvage someone else from slipping or relapsing or lapsing. So this is a personal part of me, and I'm so glad to have been able to share it. Next week, I'm getting my teeth checked out again, so I won't be here, but I look forward to seeing you the week after. Thank you for letting me speak so openly and courageously, being myself. Have a great week.